Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic Iraq Priestess here, and welcome to Melanated February. And this is your day one video. And what better way to start this series of celebrating melanated excellence than to do an unboxing of a deck that I feel is very underrated. I've watched several walkthroughs of it. I won't mention the channels. But I've watched a lot of walkthroughs of it, and I felt like this deck didn't get the accolades that it should have gotten. So I'm going to not only show you, because I kind of already looked through the cards and everything, give you my impressions of it, because this is a powerful, energetically deck. I haven't read with it yet, but I definitely feel I'm going to connect with this deck and things like that. And I am doing a deaf year, so like I said, I was only going to allow myself 2 or 3 decks. This is deck 1 that I bought this year, so I'm allowed to get 2 more and still be able to abide by my deaf year goals, okay? I was really drawn to get this one. Even last year, I kept kind of like, maybe I won't connect with it. And I think it was based off the reviews that I was watching of it. I was like, eh. But then I was talking to someone that I have a friend outside of YouTube and things like that. I was talking to her. We're friends outside of YouTube. And she had mentioned that she also wanted to get this deck, or that she wanted to get this deck. So it made me really think about it. And then all of a sudden, like, this deck just kept being brought up, whether it was like walkthroughs of it or something like that. And so I decided to just get it. After much debating, and I'm so glad that I did, because once I opened the box, I was like, this definitely was a spirit that was literally calling me to get said deck. So from those that know me, I have certain spirits I don't talk about, and then I have certain spirits that are okay with me talking about them, and one of them is my Madama spirit. So I feel like she was really drawing me into getting this deck, and I didn't know why, because Madamas are also curanderas. Curanderas are female shamans, that herbalists, medicine women that work with the herbs to heal people. And a lot of them come from either African or indigenous backgrounds, indigenous ancestors, okay? Because they did have indigenous people in different parts of the world. Like in Puerto Rico, we had the Tainos, you know what I mean? And in many parts of the Caribbean, they had their Arawaks, the Tainos. And then in the Americas, we had many Native Americans. In Canada, they had indigenous people. In Australia, they have the Aboriginal people and things like that. So even in Latin America, they have their, Native people and their tribes and things like that. So the person that will be the medicine person, the elder, they will be called, curanderas, the herbalists, the healers, the ones that know the secrets, the ones that communicate to the other side and heal us through herbs medicine, the plants and the herbs. Herbs are a very big part of my practice, okay? Because I do practice hoodoo, I do practice voodoo also, and they use a lot of herbs. Even when I was practicing Santeria, because I do have a Santeria background, but for people that want to criticize me for making the Orisha videos, I did practice Santeria. I did leave my Santeria house for personal reasons, and I don't I don't work Santeria, but I do work with hoodoo, and that's where I work with the other spirits, and through my voodoo, because there are voodoo sons that work with Orishas as well. Just FYI out there, that is the perspective that I'm coming from those that want to call and to question me. I'm giving you my receipts, okay? They know who they are who tried to call me the other day. And then when I spit facts at them, they deleted their comment off my comment section. So yeah, so in my cultural background, um, herbs are a very big part of that practice. I work the root. You know, with hoodoo, you work the root. With voodoo, it's scientific. These are scientific religions too. There are reasons why we use specific roots. They have magical reasons, but there's also scientific reasons. Okay, so I was being drawn to get the Herb Crafter's Tarot, and it comes in this beautiful box from U.S. Games. You have Joanna Powell and Letitia Guthrie, which is of Mexican descent. Letitia Guthrie. So they infuse Celtic practices and Mexican practices in the aspect of curanderismo, which again is a female healer, a medicine woman, okay, an elder, someone who has vast knowledge in herbs for medicinal and spiritual reasons, okay? So I love that, just from that. I love the court cards in here, so I'm just going to show you guys the deck. So you have, this is the Fool's card, and you can see like there's river stones in there. You can see like this literally looks like a medicine wheel, right? And everything to me, like with the medicine wheel and the way this is, like the Fool is all about the beginning of a journey, you know? And I feel like, yes, everything starts with balance, because in the medicine wheel, you're also representing, you know, in some cultures, the directions, the elements, the corners, you know, it's like everything starts at the base. Everything is everything. Everything is one source. I hope that makes sense. Don't want to sound like I'm crazy or whatever, but, you know, that's how I see it. You know, the Fool's all about the zero number, the beginning. Everything starts with the elements. Everything starts with earth, you know. It's everything starts with physical and spiritual health, you know. So anyways, so that's beautiful. Medicine wheel, you have your butterfly, which is all about transition and spiritual messages and intuition. So like there's so much in this card alone that and then there's like on the floor, it looks like a medicine bag, which I was just talking, you know, about that. A lot of things that people don't know too. Well, some things that people may not know either, is that dandelions in some cultures, okay, are considered predictive roots. So like when it rains, a dandelion kind of goes in itself. It's kind of like it could predict the rain. A lot of people use dandelion to open up their psychic abilities, right? Because the Fool's also about that too. Like you're being led by spirit to go into this journey to start your thing. Well, anyway, so all of these things are very well thought out. Like it literally really like speaks to you. I'm not going to get so in depth with every card, but you know, and then you have the Magician. You have the tools in the bottom. You know what I mean? You have the necklace, the sunflower, that masculine, fiery energy that is the Magician. So like it's like I feel like you can get so much out of this. You know, you have mugworts, you know, mugworts. A lot of people use mugworts to open up their psychic abilities. Mugwort is said to be good for psychic divination and dreams. So, you know, all of this makes sense. You still have the stars in the pouch. You have, you know, your crystals. You have your herbs. Like, this is beautiful. Like, this is the high priestess to me, you know. So this definitely is a very powerful, herb. You have your Empress, you know, the keeper of knowledge, and she's also female. All these things in like my culture, when it comes to for hot peppers and stuff like that, people use them for hot work, you know, love work, hot work, things like that, you know. The roses are good for healing and prosperity. Like everything that's picked on this, the mother, it resonates in some cultures, you know. In some cultures, the Virgin Mary is very sacred to some curanderismo practices. So Mary takes roses, you know what I mean? They give her a lot of roses for offertory. Some people, when they see Mary, they say, oh, they saw like a rose bloom from somewhere they're not supposed to go plant, and that's a sign like the Virgin, la Virgen está contigo, you know, the Virgin's with you. So all this to me The Empress, because some people say like the Empress is synchronized with the mother. Some people will say that's Mary. In Orisha Loa culture, roses could represent the mother Danto, or could represent Yamaya. You know what I mean? And they also take flowers. So just saying, like, I can see how this can correlate into so many different cultures. You have your Emperor. You have your Hierophants. And if you look at this, this is very indigenous. This is very native. And the Empress is all about tradition. Traditionally, we went to medicine women, medicine men. You know, we went to the shamans when things were going on so they could intercede for us through the spirit world, through the ancestors, through the spirits. This is so much the Hierophant to me. You know, you have your squash, the sacred fruits, your cinnamon, your hot peppers. It's beautiful. And you have your hot, like cocoa, like some kind of chocolate drink. You have your statue, you know, you have your lovers, Chariot, Strength, garlic. You also have lemongrass there, braided. In Espiritismo, we use a lot of garlic for protection and exorcism. So like this makes sense. Strength. Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. Now you have a small wheel, and this one's bigger. So it's like you started at this point, and now look how it's grown. It's all coming full circle. It's all coming full circle. The completion. Cannabis, justice. Cannabis is a sacred herb, but in a lot of places it's illegal, and people can go to jail for it, and they're finding out every single day that cannabis has medicinal properties to it. I had somebody in my family who was literally dying of cancer and treated themselves with cannabis, and they're alive today. It literally saved their life, you know. The Hanged One, you have your runes there. Remember I said Celtic and Cularismo, so I love that. Okay, you have your runes. Okay, some people read leaves, so you have a leaf there. They're kind of like reading the leaves and all that kinds of stuff. So like, you see, love it. The Hanged, I think it's the Hangman or the Hanged One. The Hanged One. 13, death. Marigolds. You have the butterflies there, and you have a sugar skull. You have La Santísima Muerte, which is very sacred in Mexico. I love that. Then you have Temperance. Camila or Camila. The Devil, blackberry. Now, the way I interpret this is, so in some cultures, you can feed somebody a condition. So you can actually have something not so nice going on in this thing. That's why I tell people be careful who you eat from, because that pie could have been made with bad intentions. And the devil is enticing. So they might be enticing somebody to do something to somebody. The Tower, mushroom. Some shrooms can do some, could literally cause some effects on things. The Star, cottonwood. The Moon is Datura. The Sun is St. John's wort. Awakening, Tulsi. There's mandala beads there. You have your oil lamp. The World, Pachama. You have another wheel. Ace of Fire, Yarrow. All the aces are together. So you have your Ace of Fire, Moulin. Ace of Water, Plantain. Ace of Earth, Nettle. Two of Air, Chicory. Two of Fire, Bee Balm. Two of Water, Mallow. Two of Earth, Witch Hazel. Three of Air, Encancia. Three of Fire, Calendula. Or Candendula. But Candendula, that's, I'm going to say how I pronounce it, Candendula. This is a very powerful herb, so I can see why they picked that one. Three of Water, Lemon Bulb for the Three of Earth. Three of Water. Three of Earth, Raspberry. I meant to say Calendula, Three of Fire, sorry. Three of Earth, Raspberry. Four of Air, Lavender. And I like that they picked this one too, because the Four of Swords is all about resting, and lavender helps a lot of people with insomnia, so I can see how that translates. You have the Four of Fire, Elder. So these are just examples of how you can actually, you know, read these cards just like a regular tarot deck. Four of Water, Mint. Four of Earth, Willow. Five of Air, White Sage. And I love that this sage is a sage they're actually growing in their yard, so it's not endangered. They're actually growing their own supply. Another thing is you can edible sage works just as good as white sage, and thus less impact on the earth if you're getting it outside of like your backyard and stuff like that. So because I use a lot of edible sage myself, I don't really buy white sage like that because of its endangered status and stuff. Five of Fire, Black Cohosh. Black Cohosh. Five of Water, Golden Seal. It's beautiful. Five of Earth, Slippery Elm. Six of Air, Cattail. Six of Fire, Nas Stutium. This is beautiful. This looks so like Peitita, Colandero. So much in my culture, you know, I grew up with like novena candles all the time. And my mom used so many flowers in her practice with spiritual baths and oils and things like that. So and then you have like the birthday candles there. You have it looks like a abalone shell with like a candle in it. And the glitter, like if you go to like a botanica, some of the candles, they put glitter on them. So you can use glitter as when you're like anointing or fixing candles. Like that's common as well. So like, yeah, I love this. This is so like I love it. Because, you know, the Five of Fire is all about conflicts and stuff. And sometimes when you go into spiritual battles, you light up them candles, okay? Ready to go into spiritual war. Six of Water, Borage. I love the candle holder in this one. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The Six of Earth, Pine. Six of Air, Eucalyptus. And you have like the book that's literally teaching how to make this oils. It's a recipe book. I love that. Seven of Fire, Cinnamon. And there's like an indigenous drawing in the background. See that? And they have the skull, because a lot of people, and it says curanderísimo, a lot of people don't know that Santa Muerte is a folk saint, and they actually infused a spirit of death, la diosa de la muerte, you know, into Santa Marta. Santa Muerte, Santa Marta, Santa Muerte. So I cannot pronounce the name of her, like what her real name is, but she literally is an indigenous spirit that they call La Santísima Muerte. So I love that, like kind of like the reference, the skull, and the native people, the sacred cinnamon. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Seven of Water, birch. The Seven of Earth, oak, because like I literally see that as like the ancestors are going to battle for us, you know. The Seven of Earth, oak, and then there's like more books in the background. Eight of Air, licorice. I like the licorice with the Eight of Air, because licorice is good for to dominate some things in a certain way. So Eight of Fire, ginger. Eight of Water, valerium. Eight of Earth, turmeric. I love that, like taking white and making it orange. Like this person's actually working, creating from natural herbs, you know. They're creating something. And the Eight of Pentacles or the Eight of Earth is all about creativity, you know what I mean? So it's also about learning stuff, and maybe this person learned from somebody before them how to make these beautiful colored clothes and maybe sell them and make some kind of income. There you go. Sorry, like lipstick got on my teeth. That's not cute. Just noticed that. Nine of Air, pomegranate. Loving it. Nine of Fire, wild cherry. Nine of Water, peach. Nine of Earth, apple. And I love apple as the Nine of Earth because in it has like a little pentagram. So 10 of Air, alfalfa. 10 of Fire, comfrey. 10 of Water, red clover. 10 of Earth, horsetail. O cola de caballo. I love cola de caballo. Hi. So now we get into the court cards. So the first one you're going to see is Hija of Air, daughter of air. And you have catnip. And if you could look closely, there's a little cat there. And look at the beautiful brown hands. I love it. Afro Latinos represent, or a person of color. Like, I love it. You have Hija of Fire, so a daughter of fire, California poppy. Look how beautiful. You got crystals, you have your plant. It's gorgeous. I love the ring on the finger. Oh. Hija of Chamomile. You have a small child. Daughter of Water. You have like the mom, it looks like, helping the child to make this tea, like teaching the child stuff. Hija of Earth, linden. I love all the different skin tones in the hands. Adelita of Air. Adelita is a female warrior, which goes well with your nights. Adelita of fire, cayenne. I use a lot of cayenne in my practice as well. It looks like a smoky, like an image of a smoky person, or see that? There's so many little hidden symbology in this deck. I love it. I'm so excited to work with it. It's why I'm doing the walkthrough. I want to use the cards already. Adelita of water, Ocotillo. Adelita of earth, Yucca. Yucca was also sacred to a lot of the indigenous people. Specifically for me, in Puerto Rico, the Tainos, Yucca was very sacred to them. They believed that a spirit lived in Yucca. So, and then I love the cross, Bridget's cross. In some cultures, this cross is used even in some voodoo. In my voodoo house and things like that. So my lineage to it. We use it to represent a spirit as well. So, and she has Irish descendancy. She's actually a Irish Loa. So you do have Irish Loas too. And so I find this very interesting. Like, this card really speaks to me, to both my Haitian and Puerto Rican side. Madre of air, motherwort. I love the hands. I love the jewelry. Like, there's just so much going on here. Now we're going into the queens. So we have madre, mother. So mother of fire. You have time. Madre of water, oats. I love all the different various skin tones and colors. Mother of earth, creosote, bush. And she's like offering it to the spirits. Like, I love this. Oh, just love her. Culandera. Culandera is a medicine woman of air. You have rosemary. And what I liked about this, they aged the hands. These are older hands. She has like tattoos in her hands. Look like wings or something. I love that they aged the person, because these are our elders. These are our, you know, the elders are the medicine women. You know, it takes a lifetime to get to that status. And I love that the hands are aged, you know. Culandera of fire. Oh, I love this one. You can see there's a mermaid in the background, because we also, in many cultures, we serve Mamawata, La Seren, Yamaya, different types of mer spirits. The cauldron, the candle. She has caracoles in her hands. She's casting the shells in Santeria Dulubum, you know. So yeah, there's many different spirits that reign over the casting the shells. Indigenous people practice that as well. So like, I love, there's just so many ways to translate everything. She has her crystals, she has her cup, she has her mermaid. You know, she's working with the spirits of the water that rule over the shells that are being used for divination. And I love that. So it's like the spirit is channeling, the water spirits are channeling their message through the elder. Culandera of water, seaweed. She's taking a spiritual bath. And the seaweed, you see the mermaid statue, which again, in various indigenous cultures, we do serve mermaid spirits to the ones that have those spirits in their spirit court. And she's literally dedicating a spiritual bath to this spirit. You see the candles. That's how I take my spiritual baths. Like, I use herbs and things of that nature. So it's beautiful, just gorgeous, just gorgeousness. And then last but not least, you have Culandera of earth, sweet grass. There's so much symbology within these cards, like, they're gorgeous. Like, there's so much that you can get from these, in my opinion, that I feel that these cards are underestimated. Like, honestly, like, they're gorgeous. I love them. Oh, right here, this is the one I want to show you, the Four of Fire. If you look at the background right there, you have La Virgen de Guadalupe, which is the patron saint of Mexico, and sometimes she's synchronized with La Santísima Muerte too. So you know what I mean. So it's this is so, like, I love it. Like, I can see how some of these images tie into indigenous practices, some of your Afro-Caribbean practices. Anybody, even, and like I said, Celtic too. There's some Celtic influences in here. Like, I love it. Like, this literally, I love how everything's tied together. And I'm definitely going to be working with this deck. I love that the court cards are in Spanish, because all these words mean something to me. So I consider this like a very inclusive deck, because even the hands that are touching the things in the court cards, they're not gendered. Like, this could be anybody. These hands could represent anybody. These hands could represent a non-binary person. These hands could represent a transgendered woman, a cis woman, in my opinion. It could represent anybody because there's no faces to them. So I definitely love that about the deck. I love the way that they use the herbs and the little subtle imagery that, to me, ties everything together, because in the original, in the Four, so when you are looking at the Four of Swords, if you look at the background, the person's in a Catholic church in the coffin, and there's like the little window on the RWS, there's the Virgin Mary on it. And I like how in the Four of Fire they put the Virgin Mary in the background, kind of like, because it's part of the four in tarot, so it's kind of like their own thing, but there's still like a Mary in it. So it's very interesting. So I'm going to be working with this deck. I'll let you guys know, planning to work with it in the rest of the month of February, and we'll let you guys know how I feel about the deck. Also, like I said, it comes in a box, and I'm thinking ringing in my ear, so like, I think La Madama loves this deck. We're gonna work well together. The Earth Crafters Tarot, like I said, and it comes with a guidebook. I haven't looked at the guidebook, but it comes with a guidebook. I literally haven't even used the cards yet, and these are the gorgeous backs to the cards. And cardstock is whatever you make of it. It's thinner. I like this kind of cardstock. I hate thick. I cannot stand really thick cardstock, in my opinion. I don't consider that good cardstock because I can't rifle shuffle with it. So again, cardstock is kind of your own personal opinion. This is my ideal cardstock. So, and this is the Herb Crafters Tarot. And thank you for watching. And this is day one of Melanated February. So much love, much light, much blessings. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Bye.